Recently, I heard about this guy, Eckhart Tolle, I think it's pronounced. Not sure. Jim Carrey is a huge fan, and it's really all about how it's about the awakening of our minds. And this is deep stuff, and this is something that I've just, touched the surface on. But it's basically about how we figure out when we're thinking, we're listening to our voice in our heads, and it's our thoughts, and you sort of start to wonder who is doing the listening and who is doing the talking. And I think that the whole idea here is that you figure out that you're actually not the thoughts, you're the person who is listening. Like in your head, you're listening to your thoughts, and your thoughts are not you. Your thoughts are just flying around there in your brain, and you listen to these thoughts, but you are not actually constructing them. Which I know sounds really bizarre and weird, but it sort of makes sense if you really think about it. Our brain is constantly bombarding us with thoughts and ideas, and like when you try to meditate, you really discover how difficult it is, and how those thoughts are just never ending. It's like a never ending string of thoughts, and they just come out of your head, and sometimes you talk your thoughts. And sometimes when you're listening to people talking and you sort of phase out from the conversations and you're just observing them, sort of like when you're meditating, like when you're just observing the thoughts without interacting with them. And you sort of get this emotion and feeling like they're just blabbing, like they're just talking about nonsense. They're talking about the weather, about politics, really boring stuff. And it seems like they're just being stimulated by their brains and the brain's ability to create thought patterns. This is really interesting stuff to me, and this is something that I plan to investigate a lot more, because I think there is something profoundly important to all of this. I think that when you realize that you are not your thoughts, that you are something deeper than that, interesting stuff could happen. And speaking from personal experience, my biggest problem with thoughts is that I get anxiety from these thoughts because I have no control over them. Like I try to, but it's really difficult. And this is like the red line in my videos, my anxiety, and it's something that I'm struggling with, working with. And if I could just figure out a way for this awakening to happen, because even though I understand it in theory, I haven't really felt it. A lot of people who've been listening to this Tolle guy, they've sort of experienced this nirvana of enlightenment. They call it the awakening, and it's when you realize that you are not your thoughts. Like not just from a psychological perspective, but when you like really feel that you are not your thoughts, you're just listening to your thoughts. Closest I've ever come to this is when I've been meditating. That's it. But it's something that I'm very excited about to be exploring a bit more about. And if you have thoughts about this, which is kind of ironic, but if you do have thoughts, interesting thoughts about this topic, let me know in the comment section below, and let's have a discussion. Okay, that's all I had for today. Hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care.